I'm Danielle DeLate in studio for The Buzz, and guess what? The boys are back. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Emblem3. How are you guys?
The boys are back in town.
The boys are back in town. We're doing very, very well. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Now, I want to take it back all the way to the beginning. We've got to talk about X Factor. How was that experience for you guys? You know, besides the obvious, it's a life-changing experience. I want to know, what was that like afterwards? Was it all that it was cracked up to be?
It was a wild ride. Let's see. X Factor happened 10 years ago. Went on the show. It was essentially an overnight success for us, and it was just like blast off into the stratosphere and then crash back down pretty much as hard as you can. Everything explodes, and then we survive somehow and are coming back out of that. So
You're coming back up.
yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay, for after the long hiatus, who was it out of the group that made that call? Who brought you back together?
It's one of
I
you
think
guys.
It was like a mutual at the same time
pretty
kind
sure
of thing.
We like this at the exact moment. Like it was
Like
weird.
I picked up my phone to text him,
And it was
you were
typing.
calling me, or like
Like
Oh.
I'm serious. It was weird.
it was one of
And we were
those
like, yo,
like,
were you
whoa,
just fucking freaking typing
Were you just
to
trying
me?
to
And it was
reach
like,
out?
yo, what? And we hadn't talked for like a long time.
we didn't talk for a long time, over a year probably, at least, maybe longer.
It was weird.
And
So
then
they started talking apparently at the exact same time, and then hit me up and asked me to join the band again or like restart the band, and I was like no for a little while.
Really?
Yeah, I had just been like working on myself and doing my own thing for a long time, and it was kind of a traumatic experience, the whole thing, and we were really young when it all happened, so it was a lot. And then after some convincing and finally getting back in the studio and playing some music and stuff, we got back together, and we actually had the idea to get back together over 2 years ago now. It was like COVID kind of hit like right when we were getting back together, so that gave us some time to like write new music and get back to it, which was cool.
Yep.
And you say, you went straight up and then crashed pretty hard. But now that you're back together, you've had that experience. What has changed when it comes to being in the studio together, working on new music? What did you learn from all of that?
I would say there's like a mutual respect that we all have for each other now, which is really cool. I think we've all just matured a lot and just realized that we're all, individual persons in the room, and it's good to just recognize that. And when you're making music, it can be very intimate, and so I think just a lot of respect going on now, which is really cool.
Yeah, I second that.
Yeah. And we have the new album dropping on the 8th of February. Let's talk about that and what the experience was like working on that.
Yeah.
And what fans can expect.
Yeah, so Songs from the Couch Volume 2. So we put out a Volume 1 10 years ago, or I guess 11 years ago. It technically ended up coming out after our big main album in 2013, but it was all recorded prior to X Factor. And so it was like kind of our first album, and our fans know that very well. And so we thought it was appropriate to come out with
10 years
the
later.
Songs from the Couch Volume 2, finally, 10 years later, kind of for our fans. And like I said, we've been writing this probably for about 2 years during COVID time and everything. And yeah, it's been really exciting.
And you had a pretty cool campaign leading up to this. Can you talk about that campaign, the budget, the billboard ad that went viral, and the fans that have come by and supported you from day one that are still there rooting for you guys now?
Yeah, theboysareback.co website. I can't take the credit for it. Our team, our amazing team, Next Step Talent, they helped us out with this idea, brought us the idea. We all kind of went on it together. And
are we shouting out Amanda right
we're shouting out Amanda. She's the best.
And Tamima.
And Tamima, of course. The whole team, everyone on it, they're so amazing. And it was just like, at first we were a little bit like iffy on the idea. We're like, I don't know, it seems kind of scary. Like, I don't want to like make anybody upset. They're like, no, it's like fun. We're going to have a good time. We're going to, shout out these other bands, these other boy bands, and make it more like a treasure hunt, and it's an exciting thing. And so we were all like, all right, cool, let's get on board, let's do it. And the reaction was insane. we got a billboard, one of those electronic ones for, fairly cheap, which is pretty crazy. And, it just said the boys are back, and it was very mysterious. And I think that got some people talking, and it's been really, really exciting to watch.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel?
I feel amazing. Yeah, it was like, I mean, you never know what to expect, and it definitely exceeded all that. I think the hashtag "The Boys Are Back" got 50 million views or impressions or whatever.
I think on TikTok it was
wow,
pretty
huge.
big, and people were talking about it. I know there's many different videos that had multi-millions of views, and
tweets getting
Twitter was going crazy, and of course all these different fan bases: Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, One Direction, Five Directions of Summer, my favorite band. It's all these fan bases are like, who knows what's gonna happen? Who knows what this is? And it gets everyone talking, and so it's really cool to watch that, and
So
exciting.
fun.
And I think people were surprised when it was us behind the whole thing, and it was really cool to watch it unfold.
When they did find out what band it was, and they found out it was Emblem3, you guys, what did the fans' reaction? What was that like?
It was mixed reviews, to say the least. There was some very mean things said. There's some very, very nice things said.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I think it was just really, really fun. And even the people that were upset, they're like, "Oh, this." I thought it was going to be One Direction. They were still like, this was cool. This was fun to get excited about. I think it was all in good fun. So, yeah.
I agree.
And we have some cool tattoos down the end. Do you have an Emblem3 tattoo or anything? Or
No.
not yet?
Not yet.
How many tattoos in total?
I don't know. Maybe like 20 or something.
Wow. They're very cool. What's your favorite one?
I don't know, honestly.
I say we give you an E3 tattoo right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Call someone up. Get someone in the
Tattoo
studio.
shop next door.
Yeah.
Take the crew and
We'll take
cameras
the
and
cameras
go.
over.
If the album hits a certain place on the charts,
Oh, there we go.
I
then-
will do that. I don't have any
I'll-
tattoos.
yeah,
I will
right.
get a tattoo. If
Oh.
we get 1 billion streams, I will get a
Yeah, a
tattoo.
billion streams on the album. I'll get a tattoo.
a billion streams. You have to tell that to your fans.
Overall. So
Tell that
there's
to the
When we
fans.
get 1 billion streams, we're all getting an Emblem3 tattoo.
however many
Face
tracks
tats.
on-
Face
Yeah.
tat. I will. I'll put the
Face.
E3 logo right here.
Hey, for
Yeah.
a billion streams, maybe.
Yeah.
That's overall too. So all of the songs on the album.
Yeah, we can easy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Combined.
Twice.
If 1 billion people listen to it, one
time.
song, one time, that'll equal 1 billion streams.
Quick math.
Quick math.
You're good.
And April, we've got another important date coming up. 10 years anniversary on Chloe.
Yeah.
That's right.
We're going to do some exciting things around that.
We have some stuff in the works.
The
I
works.
don't know how much I'm allowed to say about it, but yeah, we're getting excited. We did the 10-year anniversary of our song Sunset Boulevard in September of last year because that was the X Factor airing anniversary. And so, yeah, we're getting excited for the 10-year anniversary of Chloe.
And what's next for you guys in the journey?
Hopefully getting back out on the road at some point, seeing our fans again. It's been a long time. Looking forward to all the hugs and kisses and
Jams.
playing some music and yeah.
Yeah. When you go to your shows, it's the fans that have been there from day one.
Yep.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
And they bring along their friends. And
Yeah,
And they've
hopefully
been crazy.
hopefully we'll see a lot of people we've already seen before come out to shows, and it's just gonna be a big party,
Mhm.
hanging out, and yeah, hopefully we'll see some new fans too. I think that'd be really cool to
Yeah.
get some people.
So coming back together, what was it like day one in the studio? What's the vibe like? Are you excited? What's the first song you start working on together? How did that go?
I definitely felt like this is a mess, and there's like this is all over the place. How are we gonna find a common sense of direction with all of these different
Yeah.
tastes
We've
and
all
stuff?
been doing our own different things. Like,
Yeah. It took us a while to finally kind of start figuring out how to find the balance.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a couple awkward sessions, a couple like awkward hangs of like, all right, what are we even doing here? And then there's definitely a moment where we were working on our song Rush that already came out, and it was like, oh wow, this is actually really cool. And it was just the three of us in the room, basically
Scratch.
just jamming and
Yeah.
figuring it out, and kind of felt like a magic moment, like one we had experienced in the past. So it was cool to see that come back together and still work and be like, oh, it's still there.
Yeah.
You know?
The magic was still there.
That's right.
If you guys had to, if you were 15 again today, and you were thinking about doing the X Factor, if you had to go through that again, would you go through it? Or, and if so, what show would you pick these days? Because we've got America's Got Talent, you've got The Voice. Oh, we've got a shaking the head.
We've
down
got
there.
a shaking the head.
You say you wouldn't do it again?
Oh.
I feel like we were already on a good track. We were super
Yeah.
young. We didn't necessarily need to do it.
I do believe that if we didn't do it, we still would have eventually built a great fan base and had an amazing run. So it's definitely a jump start, though. If you need it now and you feel like you're ready and you just can't get attention, I mean, it's pretty cool. But TikTok, you could go viral today, right now.
Yeah.
You don't need a show.
I think virality is a double-edged sword pretty much no matter what. And nowadays it's TikTok that does it. I think you see a lot of artists right now trying to get on the TikTok train, and it's really interesting to watch who is breaking through and actually building a real fan base outside of that versus just an overnight video that goes viral and then, you know, people fall off or don't follow up with the music or whatever it is. And so it's all very interesting to watch. I'd say I'd probably still do X Factor again 10 years ago if I was offered the chance. Today, I probably wouldn't do any of the other TV shows because I don't think that they have the impact that they used to. I think today it's actually better to just work social media and basically try to hit it on TikTok or,
100%.
you know, grind it out and go out on the road and get in front of people and make really good music. I think that's like number one. So,
Do you guys like being independent and having that control? And
yeah.
or
Yeah, like when we have the control in the studio, it's amazing. Like I know. I mean, do you have anything to say about this? It was kind of difficult with having an agenda and what kind of they wanted us to do and stuff. So it's nice having that freedom now and just doing what we want.
Yeah, I mean, if you could get a partner that supports your vision creatively, then that's like the whole point. But, you know, oftentimes, especially with young boy band-ish type of acts, they're going to end up targeting a specific audience, even if that's not in alignment with your artist's mission. And if you're a deeply passionate artist and you take it very serious and it's like a identity purpose thing, then that can, you know, split you in half.
yeah.
I think it's all about who you're working with because
the team around you.
I mean, even back in the day, we worked with some really, really amazing people, and you know, we've seen kind of both sides of it. And so I think as we're coming back to this now, it's about choosing the right people and surrounding ourselves with people that actually genuinely care about our best interest, and you know, people that aren't trying to get a quick buck and that really want to help us and see us succeed.
Yeah, I think that's so important because art is such a personal and
It's
vulnerable
so
thing
emotional,
to
yeah.
share.
Yeah.
So to have the right people around you to look after that or guide it in the right direction
Needs to be
is
protected.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Well, I'm excited for the album to drop.
Us
8th of
too.
February, everyone. Thank you so much for coming by the studio today and chatting to us.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
It has been a pleasure, and hopefully we'll get a tour out of this. I'm going
I
to put that
hope
out
so
there.
too.
Fingers crossed,
Yes.
guys, for some live shows. We've got to see you back on stage.
That's right. Thank you so much.
So coming back together, what was it like day one in the studio? What's the vibe like? Are you excited? What's the first song you start working on together? How did that go?
I definitely felt like this is a mess, and there's like, this is all over the place. How are we gonna find a common sense of direction with all of these different tastes
We've
and
all been
stuff?
doing our own different things. Like
Yeah. It took us a while to finally kind of start figuring out how to find the balance.
Yeah, I think there is definitely a couple awkward sessions, a couple like awkward hangs of like, all right, what are we even doing here? And then there's definitely a moment where we were working on our song Rush that already came out, and it was like, oh wow, this is actually really cool. And it was just the three of us in the room, basically just jamming and figuring it out. And kind of felt like a magic moment, like one we had experienced in the past. So it was cool to see that come back together and still work and be like, oh, it's still there.
Yeah.
You know,
The magic was still there.
that's right.
I've been around the block a time or two. I took a couple L's to find the groove. Oh, that's okay, you fall to learn to fly. That's how she goes.
Hey, what's up? We're Emblem3, and you've just been buzzed.